Welcome back to RLCS Overtime, ladies and gentlemen. We've talked about North America, we've talked about Europe, and now it's time to talk about OCE. How you doing, Carpet?
Still doing pretty good, Wade.
Still doing good. Guys, nothing changes over the breaks here. It's crazy. I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. I thought about doing an accent, but then no, that's not
I thought we were going to switch spots or something.
Wait, what kind of accent?
He was an offensive one, no matter what it was.
Then I was like, it's just going to make everyone really angry, so.
It wouldn't work out very well. But we've done North America, we've done EU, and now it's time for OCE. The Throwdown TV league play is over. That is our affiliate in OCE who helps us run the RLCS branch over there. And they've finished their league play now. And it's time just to talk to Yumi Cheeseman. He's the head honcho over there of everything that goes on for Rocket League. And so he's our affiliate, the guy we're going to talk to. Yumi, how's it going, man?
Great, it's good to see you guys again. Glad to be back on the show, and also excited to be talking about Oceanic Rocket League, the best region for Rocket League in the world.
Oh, fighting words if I've ever heard them.
The big cheese laying it down.
I'm just happy that it's not like 4 a.m. that we're casting a tournament together. We can actually just talk on a regular time. It's great.
Good time for both people.
But it's those 4 a.m. casts that end up being the best anyway, a lot of them.
I can't disagree with that.
Oh man, well let's get into OCE action here.
Yeah, let's get into it, Yummy. We have the OCE finalists. We finally got our 4 teams after the entire league play. We have Alpha Sydney, Jam Gaming, Sandcastle, and one more. But not one more.
That's a
the team name is actually one more. That's the trolliest team name we've had. But I want to talk about them, Yummy. They came in 4th. They had a big 5-game series in the final week to clinch their spot. What do you expect from them here?
It's interesting for one more. I think they're a real up-and-coming team. They're the underdog coming through. And they're a very interesting team. They have Cyrix on there, who used to be on a team very differently called Another One. Completely different team name. And now he's on one more. And after Throwdown Season 1, where they made the finals there as well, he's come back and made a completely new team for one more, taken out 2 of their players and brought in 2 rookies, Shady and Elusive. So you've got a really interesting combo, because Cyrix is the only player in Oceania to have been to every single LAN event. Still never come first, but he's been to every single one. I think 4 in total. And you combine that with Shady and Elusive, who just had their first LAN event just this weekend, the IEM finals. And so it's the experience with the juniors, and they've got a good chance, but we're going to really see how they go.
Well, I mean, you want to talk about teams with experience. The next one up is Sandcastle, a team that you're pretty comfortable with. And I also know you have a pretty good Dumbo impression, if I hear correctly. Is that true?
Dumbo. He's the Aussie surfer, dude. He just loves the old Rocket League. 4,200 hours on that guy. Wow. I'm going to end the impression there. It's too much. There's too much Australia for one stream, but 4,200 hours on him. He's combined there with AoE Amp and the new addition Snarf, and they've grown very quickly over the season to the point where they were able to take down Alpha Sydney. Huge effort, and I'm like starting to really toss up who is going to go through as Sandcastle, even though perhaps the newest team in terms of name, coming out at the end of November. They've got a lot of experience amongst the players together.
And so, fun fact actually, about 1.5 years ago when I ran the PPL, Jam Gaming had signed up.
Oh, really?
And they were in our Division 2. But I'm really curious, they're right now 2nd. They're a team that probably, I know, has done really, really well. But Yummy, I'm curious to know how you think they're going to fare, especially with the experience they've had.
Well, Jam Gaming, they're the oldest team here in the competition. They started March 2016. In the finals, they're the last one of the old dogs remaining. And forever, they've been the team to beat. So it's just whether it's their time to shine again, because all through last year, they were the dominant team. They wrecked Oceania, and even at the beginning of this year as well. And since they've brought in Express, one of the favorites here in OCE, one of the best players around, they haven't synergized well, but there's that mechanical brilliance that could really bring them through, with Monty Connor holding that midfield spot really well, and Bango probably putting on the most montage goals of anyone in the competition.
Man, so then the last team we want to talk about here, Alpha Sydney. If there's a team that just by the name sounds like the top team in OCE, Alpha Sydney, like we're #1 and we're the capital, that to me sounds like a big dog. How is Alpha Sydney pairing up against the rest of the competition here?
Sydney's not the capital of Australia. Canberra is.
Oh, wow. That is me being an American right there.
That's some NA geography right
Oh,
Alpha
shame.
Sydney, they're called Alpha. They're not Beta Brisbane. And
You're telling me there's more
it
than
is
one
for a
city
reason.
in Australia? There's more than one? I'm kidding. I'm just trying to make it worse. Keep going.
There's, yeah, they've been the top. We've talked about them before, and they've come through as the #1 seed, dropping their first match in league play. They only dropped one. It was a 3-0, but that was important because it was the first loss for them throughout 2 months of play in Oceania. So that's how dominant they've been up until now. So now they've been proven they can bleed. Drippe, we saw him get the MVP of Oceania. That's a big thing for him. Big prize money as well, so he was really excited. Scored the most goals, and backed up by just serious mechanical and raw talent from Jake and Torsos. The three of them, importantly, are all very, very well-rounded players and good all over the pitch, and that's how they're winning right now.
Were you surprised by any of these 4 teams making it into the finals?
Look, all 4 of these teams, they made it into Throwdown Season 1 finals. So they are the top 4 teams around the region. And so I'm not surprised that they made it in. I'm really surprised, though, that there weren't any big upsets. A couple of other tournaments around with LAN finals or big finals have had other teams making it through, as you'd expect. There's always going to be upsets, but not this time. And I'm really excited for the Throwdown finals because it's just going to be the best Oceanic Rocket League.
So you say there's no surprise teams here, Yummy, but you had a surprise result with Sandcastle, the 3-0 over Alpha Sydney, the #1 team who hasn't lost in 2 months. Is it a clash of play styles? Like, how do these 4 teams line up play style-wise, and do you think that could pose some threats to a team like Alpha Sydney?
Well, Alpha Sydney are going to be really glad that they came through as the #1 seed and avoided Sandcastle in that first round, because amongst those top 3, Sandcastle, Jam Gaming, and Alpha Sydney, it does appear to be a rock, paper, scissors. So it's whether you get the right matchups in that double elimination final bracket, because top 2 go through, it's not top 1, and it is going to be based on who they verse. So with Jam versus Sandcastle, first round, Jam typically have it on Sandcastle. They 3-0'd them in league play. They're going to have to worry about whether Alpha Sydney get further up or further down in their first round, because Sandcastle are going to want to verse Alpha Sydney instead of Jam Gaming.
Well, that's a perfect way to bring it to this next question then. I mean, you talk about all those teams kind of like a revolving door. They're all competing really close. But then between Sandcastle and Jam, I mean, who makes it?
Ooh, that's actually a really difficult question right now. Jam versus Sandcastle, they versed each other in the first week of league play, and literally the week before, Sandcastle were running a different team. So it was their first time playing with Snarf, AOE, and Dumbo as a trio. So it's sort of unfair to judge them based off that one result, and with 4 weeks of practice after league play, I can seriously see Sandcastle causing the upset. It's not really an upset, but causing the revenge as such. But you also have Jam, who are really putting in the hours right now.
All right, so Yummy, you mentioned that on one more, Cyrix was the only experienced player. He got 2, as you kind of called, newer guys that didn't have any LAN experience. And I know it's a big topic that we speak on here at the RLCS. People that have never been to a LAN before usually falter, but you guys have had a lot on your own. Do you think nerves are going to play a big factor into one more performance?
I think they might. One more, I think they're really, really hungry for it. As I said, we just saw them play on the weekend at the IEM finals, and they came 3rd there. And that's going to be huge for them. If they went in with Shady and Elusive not having any LAN experience whatsoever, I'd be quite worried. Now, they're confident. I'm slightly more confident in the fact that they'll be able to show up at LAN. But Cyrix, again, he's that experienced player. And Elusive and Shady, I'm not sure if they brought them in because They're fantastic mechanical players that came kind of out of nowhere. Elusive, only 1,100 hours in the game and already competing at the top. Or if it's because they're absolute king memers, they're probably the most liked team. So they're going to have the crowd right behind them in their ear, cheering the entire way. And I think that kind of leads me into the story of One More, because at the last LAN, or PAX, the end of 2016, they got their name because Cyrix, in the grand final, got to game number 3. So they were 3-0 up. And he turns to the camera and just says, "One more."
Oh.
Immediately after they get reverse swept and lose the grand final. And now they change their name just to suit the occasion. And that's why everyone loves it.
That is fantastic. Yumi, we're running low on time here, but I do want to ask you quickly. NA and EU, we know now that it's going to be Northern Gaming and Denial that you guys are going to be facing off in round number 1. What fighting words you got? How do you feel like your teams are going to be going up against Northern and Denial?
Well, the fighting words is Denial, easy win. For any team that's coming through first, and right now the expectation is Alpha Sydney, but any of them could come through. Any team coming first are in a real fighting chance there. I think Denial eSports, they're solid mechanically, but as like we see in a lot of the other NA teams, their rotations are just slightly off. There are weaknesses there that the teams can exploit. And that's going to be a huge deal for number 1 seed. And on the other side, Northern Gaming, imagine coming through. You don't have the best performance at the Throwdown Lion finals, and you're coming through 2nd seed, and you have to verse Northern Gaming in the first round. I think that's going to be a really tough ask, and I'm actually glad that that's kind of the scenario, because it puts that much more emphasis on coming first there at the Throwdown finals. It can easily be the difference between getting knocked out immediately and having a chance to move on at LAN.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it'll be interesting to see how those matchups go. Thank you so much for tuning in, Yumi, and for calling us, and good luck on y'all's finals.
Yeah, I love you guys. Have a good one.
See you later, bud.
Yeah,
their finals happening on May 21st at 10 a.m. Eastern Australian time. If you want to get tickets, if you're local, or if you want to make the flight out there, you can go to throwdowntv.gg, and I think Throwdown TV is also the channel you tune into on Twitch if you wanted to watch. So that's them. They're OCE always has their things in LANs. That's just how they play over there.
I think that's going to be a huge factor, honestly.
Yeah.
It's really easy to just assume like they're the new region, they're going to be easy to beat. But I think in general, having that experience in front of an audience is a huge part of a lot of our predictions going into LAN. Like, well, they're brand new, they're probably going to struggle. You look at teams like NRG, who just for some reason in a live environment struggle, no matter how dominant they are all season. I think them having LAN experience, you know, the whole traveling and then play and all sorts of stuff, is going to give them an advantage.
Sure, and we can talking about like LANs. There's a new community LAN that's going to be happening soon. Gold Rush GG, the cool event that's being put together by the community, 100% community funded. Cronovi, Fireburner, Cookser, people will be there. It's going to be on May 13th at 12 p.m. And you can check out their Twitter there, Gold Rush GG, and also goldrush.gg for the website. More information. So cool to see these sorts of community events coming together. They've raised a lot of money through the community so far.
And so many pros playing this. So it'll be North America East, North America West, and then Europe flying all the way out. Be a lot of fun. Then, of course, like Johnny's going to be casting, and Sizz is going to be a guest caster as well. So should be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, going to be a lot of fun. Whole different bunch of game modes. There's going to be 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s. Like, if you want a taste of just high-level action in all aspects of this game, good way to tune in.
Good way to check out the action here. Tied you over to the LAN, tied you over between that and the OCE Championship. So it's going to be great. Thank you for tuning in to Overtime this week. It's been lovely. We will see you next week. Don't go anywhere. Stay safe, and good luck.